Hey devs, I want to build a proof of concept for a new kind of job search website for front-end web developers only. Now the reason I want to do this is because I'm not happy with the job search websites we have, like Indeed, Career Builder, Dice. Dice is probably the best one if you're in a technical field, but there's nothing specific for front-end web developers. Now I realize that there are a lot of parts to web development. There's the designers, the testers, back-end middleware people, database people, scrum masters, managers, and so on. But just to simplify, I want to make a website just for front-end web developers. Now, dating websites are a great analogy. Back when the web started, you just had generic dating websites, and now you've got every possible niche you could think of, per religion, age, like 50 plus, maybe beautiful only people, maybe fat people only, sexual orientation, and so on. But we don't have, us web developers, us front-end web developers, don't have a niche website for doing job search. I'm going to start by listing some problems with current job search sites. Then I'm going to list some new features that I thought of. Now, I don't claim to be creating the perfect front-end web developer job search site, but I think my features will make it easier to find the exact job you need, a job that you would be qualified for, a good fit. Now, here's a problem. When you search a job search site, if it searches the text of the description entered in by the employer, they might spell the technologies that you're interested in different ways. So the obvious one is you search on Java and you get a whole bunch of jobs that want JavaScript. And you've got Node, Node.js, Node.js, Angular, Angular.js, AngularJS, React, ReactJS, React.js. So lots of different ways to spell technologies. And so when you do a search, you may miss a job because they spelled it in a way that you didn't search. One problem is versions. You may be interested in 7.x and above. You may be interested in 5.x and below, or you may be interested in 5.x to 7.x. So how are you? You just have to read the descriptions and see, maybe they tell you what version they want you to know, maybe they don't. But it's very important. There are 11 versions of Angular. You may be somebody who wants to work on legacy, and you've got expertise in Angular 1.x. So you just want to see your job search. You search on Angular and you're going to get everything. And you want to filter down to the version. Maybe you're an expert. There's 11 versions. Maybe you're an expert in 8.x. So you just want to see the jobs that are Angular 8.x. So that would be really cool if you could filter on version numbers. Another thing that job search sites don't seem to have is being able to filter out the technologies that you don't want to work in. I search on React jobs and they'll say Angular and React, or React and Vue, or Angular, React and Vue. So you get those jobs where you just want to focus on one job, in my case React, and I don't want to see the jobs that say I want you to know Angular and Vue and React and other such frameworks and libraries. So it would be nice to say not Angular and not Vue, for example. We can extend that concept of not to version numbers. Say Angular has 11 versions and you're okay with every version but version 5. So you just want to say not version 5, rather than having to specify two ranges like 1.x to 4.x and 6.x and above, or whatever. So that would be more complicated. It would be so much easier just to say not 5.x. Now, another problem I hate is those websites where you upload your resume, then it shows you a bunch of jobs based on keywords from your resume. The problem with this is your resume contains a lot of old stuff that you did in the past that you're no longer interested in, you've moved on, and yet you're still getting in your search results all these old tech that you don't care about anymore. So to fix that resume upload search result problem, you wouldn't upload your resume for doing searches. Another problem is recruiters. Now, the same job might be posted 20 times by 20 different recruiters, and maybe even the employer posted the same job. So when you do your search, you keep coming across the same job over and over and over, and that's annoying. So I would say no recruiters, only employers can post jobs, and each job can only be posted once, so it'll only show up in your search results once. Now maybe project methodology is important to you and you want to filter your search based on Agile, Waterfall, Lean, Kanban, Scrum, Six Sigma, PMI, PMBOK. I don't know what that last one is, but if that interests you, this proof of concept would have all the options. You could check off which ones interest you, and then you could filter on project methodology. It would be nice if you could filter on commute time or distance. You might be working from home part of the time or not at all, and so your commute time or distance is important. And you may want to limit your search to, let's say, half-hour commute or a 50-mile commute. And I'm trying to brainstorm on some other ways to, because I know for me, I used to rollerblade to the train, and then I would rollerblade to the subway. There were lots of different ways. I used to bicycle to the ferry. In Philadelphia, I guess I would walk to the train, and then I could walk to a rent-a-bike and then bike to work. So there's so many different ways that we commute. You know, it's multiple forms of transportation. And how can we work that in? I'm still brainstorming on that idea, but it would be nice to filter on at least commute time and distance. I would also like to filter on industry. Let's say you are interested in working for the entertainment industry, banking, finance, gaming, aerospace, restaurant, gambling and casino, government, legal, healthcare, or even like the adult industry. I'll have like 100 different industries as a choice. You can check them off to filter, and the ones that you don't check will be the ones you don't want in your search results. I'd also like to filter on education. Sometimes these job descriptions say you should have like a Bachelor of Science degree in some field, but I want to get more specific. Maybe you've had some boot camp training, maybe you went to a technical school, maybe you went to a community college and got your associate's degree, like a 2-year degree, or you went to a 4-year school, got your Bachelor of Science as an undergrad, or you went to grad school and you got your master's degree, like a 7-year degree, or you got your PhD or postdoc. There would definitely be jobs if, for example, they required a PhD to do the job. It would be nice to just filter on jobs that require a PhD or that require a master's degree. So I would like that level of filtering. I want to filter on the size of the company. Some people like to work for a small company, some big company, some like to work for a medium-sized company. It'd be nice to be able to filter my results, let's say less than 10, less than or equal to 10, greater than or equal to 10,000, or 100 to 500 people. Next is travel. As part of your search profile, you would indicate what percentage of time you'd be willing to travel. Now, what about company culture? Wouldn't it be nice to be able to search on that? I can think of 2 offhand that you could search for. One is pets. Do they allow pets? Let's say none or some. You'd have to indicate how many pets. Maybe any pet would be allowed, or just cats and dogs. And dress code. Is there a dress code? Is it maybe business casual or suit and tie? Well, wouldn't you like to know ahead of time and just filter the kind of jobs? Maybe you like suit and tie. Maybe you want to go in torn jeans and walk around in your bare feet. That would be nice to search on company culture, and I could probably think of some more searches to do on that as well. Level of experience. Intern, junior, senior. I don't think I'm going to let them select this because we're including years of experience. So if they want somebody who's going to be learning on the job, doesn't know anything, then they could indicate 0 years of experience. If they want a junior developer, maybe they can specify 1 or 2 years. Senior, they could say 5 or more years. So I think that would compensate for that. You don't need to really indicate intern, junior, or senior. Wouldn't you love to search on benefits? Let's say 401k. Do they have it? And how much can you contribute? And how much do they match? What about paid vacations? How many do you get? Sick days? How many? How many holidays? How many personal days? What about maternity leave for women? What about men? How many days? So that would be great if you could search on these kind of benefits. I don't know about you, but I don't like to negotiate salary. I just want to know how much they pay for that job. And I would like to filter on that. For example, per hour, per week, per month, per year, whatever makes sense to you. You can search on any of those parameters, but that would be a nice filter for me. I'd like to be able to filter on what percentage of time can I work from home. For example, if I wanted it to be 100%, I only want to see jobs that have 100% working from home. It could be 50%, 20%. You put in the percentage that you want to work from home, and then you only see the jobs that have that percentage or higher. Filtering on mobile. It'd be nice to know if they were a mobile only and you had to code in Electron. You'd still be coding in HTML, JavaScript, and CSS and be creating Android, iPhone apps. Or you could be doing responsive design and creating for all platforms, PC, tablet, mobile phones. Or it could be just for the PC, no responsive design. So it would be nice to be able to search on these to filter on the particular jobs. Let's say you hated doing mobile and you just wanted to develop websites that were maybe internal websites that would just be PC only. You could do that. Some people interested in legacy or internal websites, or you're just interested in making mobile only. So it would be nice to filter on that. Accessibility. Now maybe you don't like doing accessibility websites and you just want to filter on websites that don't use accessibility. That would be nice. Also, if you were really good at it and you wanted to do the full extent for blind people for, let's say, banking websites, you could filter on that sort of thing. Or if they were sort of accessible light, filter on that. There might be various options on the different kinds of accessible website needs. And you could filter to find a job that matches the expertise that you have or want to do. Now, in my concept of the perfect job search site, when I'm looking at a search result, a job posting, I want to see the name of the company. I want to see the address where I'd be working so I can go to Google Maps and search on my commute. So you don't often see that when you receive, let's say, emails from the recruiter or you're doing a search on a job search site. You don't even know like what company this is, and you have to get that through the interview. It's a pain. So that's just something I'd like to see. Now, when you do find a job that you want to apply to, it should be pretty easy. You click a button, you attach your resume, and maybe copy paste or type up some kind of cover letter to the employer, and that's it. You submit it and then wait for a response.